Hello and welcome to another LSB Film Podcast. Today's guest is James, a young lad doing all that he can to help his mum through serious health challenges, all whilst rescuing and caring for Phoenix chickens. But instead of praise, he's been met with constant harassment and threats from the local council. Surprise, surprise. So what's really going on here? Is this about animal welfare, human welfare, or is it just yet another example of petty state control and overreach? Let's find out.
Are you concerned about all this corruption being rebranded as conspiracy theory? Well, don't you worry. Sit back and relax and join in the conversation with today's guest. Welcome to another LSB Film Productions podcast with your host, Kris Brooks.
And so, yes, welcome to the show. Let's start from the beginning then, basically. You decided you've had enough pretty much of supermarkets and big conglomerates of where you have to monopolize basically where you get your food. And so you wanted chickens. And ever since getting chickens, you've had nothing but hassle from the council. Is that correct?
Yes, it's White Horse or Vale of White Horse Council.
So what kind of issues have you been getting from them?
Well, first I got accused of having rats. I was cooperative. The man from the council said he had found it was not evidence of rats. He had determined that there were rats. It was something along those lines. They are quite careful with the way they use their words. And I was trying to be reasonable about it at first, but I could see that it was less about a real belief in rats, and it was more just to stop somebody from doing it. It was seeing what they could throw at someone to induce them to stop through fear or intimidation, in my opinion. It went from the rats to a noise complaint because I did prove that there were no rats. I put out a humane trap and it caught a hedgehog 5 times, at which point I said enough is enough. This constitutes abuse of a hedgehog. And I gave up on that, and that's when it moved on to a noise complaint.
So they will certainly try anything then. So what kind of resistance have you had from the neighbours?
Well, so far, actually, more or less, everybody's okay with it. I'm surprised. It's only 2 people that complain. I've actually been quite happy about it. But even the neighbours that complain, I feel that I don't want to say they're okay, but they're not the worst people. They're definitely people who I wouldn't sort of step over the road to avoid, on the other side of the road to avoid.
Are they the kind of people that are probably either scared of the bird flu, which we know is all hocus pocus, or are they more just maybe a little bit like me, but not so much with chickens? Because I think I'd rather hear chickens than constant barking dogs.
Oh, it's funny you should say that, because they're next door to me on my left, but 2 doors down on my right, there are barking dogs. But no, I think, I don't want to say this for sure. I feel that one of them may have had a bit of damage from an event that happened in around 2021 or 2022, is now worried about her health and feels that perhaps the crowing is contributing to stress, which is causing her health to decline.
As in a government injectable, you mean?
Something like that, yeah.
Right, okay.
And I feel that doesn't help in combination with her being overweight. Now, this is not something I would tell her. I would never tell that to somebody, but you know, in the paperwork, it does seem to say that she's trying to blame me. And I mean, obviously it's not provable, but in a way I feel sorry for them.
Blame you how?
Because apparently my crowing, not my crowing, but the crowing of my boy Sonny and my guinea fowl apparently could cause her neurological condition to worsen, apparently. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, I have chronic fatigue and it hasn't worsened my chronic fatigue. But the stress of the lockdowns might have done.
I mean, I know people can be like allergic to cats or dogs.
Oh, that she's not allergic.
But I've never heard of guinea pigs and guinea fowl and stuff. Oh, so when did you get these chickens?
Well, it started because I was with my mother in a woodland called Uffington Gorse, and it's a tiny sort of 1 square kilometre woodland. And I was just out there collecting wood for a log pile and sand that has specific bacteria from a woodland from the front garden. and my mum said that there were two chickens, and I sort of condescendingly laughed it off because I thought, what are two chickens going to be doing in a woodland? She was right. There was a little red one, a red Lomans, and a white one of the breed I'm not sure. And obviously, being me, I couldn't just leave them out for a fox. So I took them back. I put them in. At first, we only had a garden shed, so that's where they lived. Then I got a coop, put it in the garden shed because I was going to put it at the end of the garden. I've slowly been demolishing it. I've demolished the shed. I've pulled up the concrete base, pulled up all of that, and I've turned the garden into what amounts to a little eco reserve, a little forest of its own. I've planted a bunch of fruit trees that are still small, but I mean, that's what I want out of it. I want it to be somewhere I can go out into the back and get
So
eggs.
kind of a little bit like my friend Zach here in Thetford, where he just wanted to be on his own, grow his own stuff, up yours to the system around him, and just get on with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like you, he's been met with lots of resistance, been arrested.
Oh,
All kinds of things.
yeah, I mean, it's something that's sad when you see how much it's tolerated and how many people comply.
Well, it's because we've been brainwashed since birth, and all the things which are God-given rights to us have been taken away and sold back to us as privileges.
Yeah, I mean, the driving one is a big thing.
Absolutely, it is. Yes.
But at the same time, I mean, a lot of society I'm having to leave now because I'm realizing that there are no cars left. They're all computers on wheels. It's gotten to that point where society is becoming a prison. You get into your computer on wheels, you go to your supermarket, it's all got barcodes, it's all scannable, it's all of the produce that they've decided, it's the fruit that they've decided you're going to eat. Little
Absolutely.
things like people used to, I'm not a dancer, but people used to dance around a mulberry tree. It used to be a thing that in villages people had mulberry trees. They don't anymore. They've all been replaced with lime tree, not for the fruit, but like these other lime trees. And apparently that's because councils don't want to deal with the cleanup of fallen fruit. But to me,
that doesn't surprise me at all.
I mean, you just put it in the middle of a park. In the middle of the field of a park, you just put a mulberry tree and let people gather fruit.
I mean, I can kind of understand it in the sense that I've got an apple tree in my garden, and unfortunately, the birds always seem to get to them before I can. And so they've always got bloody old in them. And I can't really put that in the fruit basket.
Yeah, I found that on a plum tree. They do.
Yeah. But I just don't know how to stop them. I said to them, look, let's have a deal. You can have the ones I can't reach, and I'll have these ones. Bastards don't listen.
You know an organza bag? It's like a little bag that they put jewelry in. If you look up organza bag, people put them over plums, people put them over fruit, you just tie it around, they're reusable, and it stops the birds from pecking through. It discourages them. It might help.
Okay. I was thinking more drastic, like a net covering the tree. But then I was like, well, how the hell would you do that?
No, because then once they find their way in, they'll just be stuck there.
That's it. They would, yeah. No, absolutely. Well, it's really, like you say, it's such a shame that people have to go through such struggles and fights just to be able to have fresh eggs and a Sunday roast once every 6 months.
No, I don't eat them. No, I don't.
Oh, no, I can imagine you don't. But yeah.
I get what you mean, though. Yeah. I mean,
it's just a food source, isn't it? At the end of the day. Yeah, that's why they're bred. That's why cows are bred. If we didn't eat meat, those animals wouldn't exist.
But it's the beauty, too. I mean, a lot of like the Japanese, they used cockerels as just a living beauty. They, you put them in the garden. They are beautiful. The breed of cockerels that I have are called Phoenix chickens. There's fewer than 10,000 of them left in this realm or this world.
Really? Phoenix? Did you say Phoenix chickens?
Phoenix chickens, yeah. They're a bantam. So they're not super big. You can get a variety called Jersey Giant. They're like that. You see people holding like dogs. It's pretty big. It's just like a big thing to have. They're big 5 kilo birds, but no, these ones are small. Some of the females are they weigh like the same as a dove, sort of 500 grams.
Okay. So have you got much of a big garden?
It's 20 meters by 7 meters, so it's not.
That's not bad going.
It's not huge, but it's definitely in my street. There are some gardens that are like 5 meters long and patioed, and that makes me really depressed at the thought of the idea of living in a house.
See, my garden, I have got a little bit of patio, like I wouldn't probably about 8 foot patio, and then I've got all garden, and at the bottom of the garden, I've got a little pond that I put in, and a shed and a seating area.
Oh, that's nice.
And an apple tree, loads of overgrown bushes, overgrown grass. Yeah, I'm not much of a gardener.
No, but even just that gives something for nature to be in. I'm sort of doing it as I'm doing it as a basic garden. Like all of my fruit trees, I just prune them and that's it. I'm not doing like gardening with flowers and the complicated stuff planting each year. It's too much. But
so what apart from, you said you've got apple trees, yeah, what other fruits have you got?
So I planted a bunch of pear trees. I'm going for each one being a different variety so that they fruit at different times of the year. I've got cherry trees. I've got pineapple guava, which is a Chilean evergreen shrub tree.
How are these growing in our lovely English climate?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Pineapple guava, I had never heard of it. I was looking at trees and plants that I could plant, and it can tolerate British climates. Yeah, and actually so can apricots, oddly enough. We've got 2 apricots. I admit I overwatered one, so one's not dealing so well, but the other one, it's pretty big. Yeah, it's surprising actually what you can
And
grow
are they in like a greenhouse, or are they just out in the open?
out in the open. Yeah,
Okay.
they're frost tolerant.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's definitely there's a lot of variety. I've got purple raspberries, I've got yellow raspberries, and red. I've got red raspberries that are dwarf raspberries. I've got quite a lot by now. Yeah, I was looking
That's
on.
good. And are you finding that's enough to sustain you?
At the
Obviously,
moment,
it's not going to sustain you for everything.
at the moment, no, because I mean, I have planted them this year.
Right, okay. Early stages.
Yeah, it's taken me a while because before that I had to go through concrete. The garden shed was on a bunch of concrete that had been poured onto like these cinder breeze block type things. So I pulled all of that up, and I've gone through 1 or 2 tons of concrete, which is harder than it sounds because it was covered in earth. So I had to sort of crack it through the earth and ease it up. Yeah, I've planted out quite a bit of things. They're definitely growing healthily. They're just not at the stage of fruiting yet. But
that sounds good, and it's good that you've started the process. So it's only a matter of time, as they say. So, with regards to the council then and your chickens, where are you at now? Are they still hassling you? Have they threatened you with inspectors to come round from DEFRA or whatever it is?
Oh, they've got a court case which I have not been to. I can't bring my mum to the court case because she doesn't have full understanding, so I'm not going to put her through that. And I actually sent an email to the prosecutor to explain that this is not okay. It is abuse. My mum's got these problems. I've got chronic fatigue. I'm full-time caring for my mother, and that it's just from a moral standpoint, it's wrong. There are other breeds of chickens that have gone down in numbers because of these threats, because people have thought it a nice thing to have a cockerel, and 1 or 2 people complain and they get scared. So I'm going to fight this all the way, absolutely. But they have asked whether they sent my mum an email. I've replied to them saying that actually it's to remedy the noise a bit. The coop with my cockerel Sunny, it's on the left of the garden, whereas the complainant is sort of on the other side. Between that coop, I've planted a semi-dwarfing green gage tree, a duo apple tree, which grows 2 apple trees in one. I've planted 1 pineapple guava, and I'm going to be moving on once I've paid for the concrete to be removed, which, I mean, there's a big pile of rubble at the moment. That area will have fig trees in, so there'll be a good amount of baffling through the trees between my chickens and where she is. I don't let them out earlier than 8 o'clock. And I mean, 8 o'clock, I explained to the prosecutor, that is the standard time when builders get up, when builders start working. So it's not out of the ordinary.
Well, noise pollution, isn't it, from 11 p.m. till 7 a.m.? So even if it is 8 a.m., it matters not.
I did wonder that, but I mean, he does crow a bit earlier, but I mean, they do. It's a cockerel. It's sort of wakey. They do it at the time when.
I think the biggest, honestly, the issue is with as far as like the complainants go, the biggest issue is people are so detached from nature. It's unbelievable. We've forgotten where we're from and what we are. With regards to the council, they just do not want you to be independent in the slightest. They want you totally dependent on their system, and anything that isn't their system is a threat to them.
I've heard about that. It's like poverty pimping, where they keep you as it's like being a ward of the state, but not through mental deficiency, but through simply just learned acquiescence and learned dependence. Which,
we're all it's just one big psyops, really, and we're just the guinea pigs in it.
Well, I'm outstanded. I know that a lot of them will be NPCs. I get that, but I'm still outstanded by the amount of people that complied with the thing covering because I didn't wear one once.
I will admit, in the first week, I did, just because. Well, in the first week, I didn't know.
Fair enough, yeah.
Although I should have done. But after that, I was like, no. But never took any government incentives. Never took. I would rather do things with like frequency based stuff.
Oh, wow.
Than I would anything the NHS would give me.
It's I don't know what it's called, but it's a man called Richie on YouTube, Richie from Boston. He covers it. It's the Royal Rife Machine, something about that, and I've heard of that with frequencies. But
I have a couple of friends who have a Rife machine. I'm yet to, because they don't live anywhere near me. I'm yet to actually experience it. But I've been looking on eBay for these things that you can either connect to your earlobes or as something that you can put around your neck, and that emits frequencies, and that's to stimulate your vagus nerve.
Okay. Oh,
and that is supposed to do all kinds of wonders to help you sleep better, focus, energy.
Work, yeah.
So I'm always open to, because I don't believe that technology is new. I just believe old technology has been suppressed after the last Great Reset. So I don't think there's anything out there that hasn't been discovered.
I do wonder about whether silicon is something like the way they've got everything digital. I wonder whether that's new or whether that's old. I get the feeling that they have had technology, but it was maybe a different form of technology. So
possibly variations of.
Yeah, I might be wrong. I mean, definitely, there's more to it than I don't believe that there was just some green slime dinosaurs and then they grew hands and decided they wanted to wear a suit.
No, I don't believe that. If you believe that theory is just to take you away from where you're really from.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
divine creation.
Yeah, it's a crime to teach.
The heliocentric model is literally, oh, you're here, you're a random accident. You are nothing in the great scheme of things, for where really you are everything, because everything that you witness outside is a reflection of you inside.
I've always been against like the whole teaching of evolution and this sort of stuff, because it is, to me, and I don't want to offend your viewers because I get that some of them will obviously send their children to school.
I send my children to school because I wouldn't be able to do this. No, you're fine. It's a system that's we've all been brought up into, isn't it? I educate them.
Yeah, I never really agreed with them teaching us about evolution at school because I just thought, it's too much of a devaluer. It's something that the abusive government says to its citizens to say, "Shut up, get in your place. You're not someone special. Now get to work."
Well, you've got to bear in mind when it was I think it was the Rockefellers, when they took over the education system, they turned education from being a form of learning useful, practical things to learning how to be shut up, sit still, don't do that, how to be good slaves. That's when it's flipped. The same with the medical. They took over the medical institutions. So it went from all your natural remedy cures and all that people have survived through millennia to have a pill, because pharmaceuticals don't create cures, they create customers.
Yeah, it's very true. I try to avoid as many tablets. I had I did have a bit of like stomach acid, heartburn, and I took tablets for that, but I went off them as soon as it was because you really don't want to be using it for a long time.
No. See, apparently, and I can't stress this enough, I love Wim Hof and his breath work. If you do that, if you do 3 rounds of that, which is about 11 minutes, your body, it creates it turns your body's I can't talk. It turns your body from acid to alkaline.
You mean like one of these?
What's one of those?
Well, this one's dirty because I've had it just lying around, but you put it into your mouth, you bite down on it, and it provides breathing resistance. So it mimics, it's like having a weighted jacket on you, or it mimics running in an area of low oxygen.
Oh, okay.
I found it to be something it's not bad. I think combined with training.
Okay, well, the Wim Hof thing is where you take in 30 deep breaths of and then after 30, you blow all the air out, and then you hold your breath for as long as you can. And then after that, you go, take a deep breath in, then hold it for 15 seconds, then breathe out, and then you repeat the process. And after the 3 rounds of that, your whole body is tingling and vibrating because you're over oxygenating your body. And your struggle to breathe, when you feel that need to breathe, it's not because you're low on oxygen. Your body's got loads of it. It's the lack of, or it's the buildup of carbon in your body. That's what makes you want to go. But that's why scuba divers can dive for 4 to 12 minutes at a time with no air, because they've trained their body and their brain that you can breathe. You don't need to breathe. It's incredible. The longest I lasted was about 3 minutes without breathing.
Yeah, that's the same for about me. I used to do a bit of free diving. It was distance, not depth, but I was good at it. I got 85 meters on one breath. But in terms of just sitting there and how long I can hold my breath for, after the 3-minute mark, you do start to feel it. You definitely start to feel it. But it's amazing. It's very much, as a sports person, I'm very impressed with these people. The same thing with I think it was David Blaine that went in the water and held his breath.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Well, listen, mate, I've really enjoyed chatting with you. I wish you all the best with your chickens. I'm going to research now Phoenix chickens, and I'll see if I can find a picture to put up on the screen so people know what we're talking about when we're talking about it.
Thank you for having me on. It's
my absolute pleasure, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about yesterday. Honestly, my mind's going, and the internet is crap.
Well, actually, no, that's no problem. To have someone pick it up is really appreciated, because I've actually been warning about this system coming in since 2012 and even before that. So it's nice to have some people actually stand up and do something, because
absolutely
we're going to need as many people as we can doing good and not submitting to the tyranny.
100%. Well said. Good place to end. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time today. And everyone watching, I hope you've enjoyed it. And until next time, look after yourselves. Bye for now.